Hi, my name is Amber Chamberlain, and this is my Early Intervention and Prevention Soft Entry Strategies presentation for course 2024 HSB. There are many factors that influence a person's ability to work productively and develop into becoming a good citizen. The early childhood years are some of the most crucial for a person's development, so it is important to have a strong foundation constructed with trusting relationships that results in more effective development later in life. Implementing prevention and early intervention strategies that offer the best long-term outcomes for children and their families are essential for healthy development, as benefits are evident in better outcomes for vulnerable children, including better schooling, reduced contact with the juvenile justice system, and reduced notification for child abuse and neglect. Early intervention activities, programs, and services are designed to support children and families who show signs of vulnerabilities. Early interventions provide families with the resources and skills designed to interrupt the growth of emerging problems and encourage positive child development, whereas prevention programs and services are designed to prevent risk factors, including child abuse and neglect, from emerging in the first place. Prevention programs are usually universal in that they are offered to entire communities or community groups. These can include playgroups, drop-in community centers and activities, as well as many others. Early intervention and prevention require a soft entry approach. Successful soft entry approaches are set with the objective to remove barriers for equitable access and participation in programs and services, as well as act as a means of building relationships with families to build trust, acknowledgement, connection, and enjoyment for all children, families, and their communities. Soft entry strategies must be flexible to responding to children's and families' needs in a non-stigmatizing way, and have the ability to build partnerships in the community, as well as be engaging and child-centered, giving children a voice in matters that affect them, and be non-threatening, informal, low-cost, and accessible to all families, providing continuity of support. Taking all of this into consideration, I decided to implement my soft entry approach using the consolidative strategy that involves all stakeholders. The consolidative strategy falls under the program and services level of the multi-level approach to intervention and prevention. Consultation guides educators to make informed decisions in their daily work, reflecting on responsible ways of working with all children, families, colleagues, and managers, and strives to actively involve stakeholders in shared decision-making. The service in which I conducted my placement was an early childcare centre. As a student educator, I consolidated with the lead educator on methods that would effectively involve parents in the cognitive, social, and motor development of their children. From this meeting, we decided to implement a parent input board underneath learning displays. On these input boards, parents could write feedback on experiences and activities being conducted within the classroom, as well as leave recommendations on what skills they would like to see their children develop upon. From feedback and recommendations received by the parents, the lead educator and I decided to do a unit revolving around the topic of transportation, as many of the children had expressed keen interest in cars, trucks, and trains, and a few of the parents responded to the input boards would have liked to see their children learning about emergency responder or construction vehicles. For ideas on activities, I decided to approach a parent who owned a construction business within our local community and asked if he had any suggestions on how we could teach the students about construction vehicles. Inviting family members to suggest ways in which they might be genuinely involved in the education setting can strengthen meaningful partnerships. The father suggested bringing in some of his construction vehicles for the children to engage with, and obviously I took him up on his offer. However, before this experience could take place, I needed to get the approval and involvement of key stakeholders. Firstly, I needed to receive approval from the centre director for this to go ahead. I then needed to have a meeting with the centre's health and safety officer to discuss health and safety measures for the activity and where the activity could occur. After this, the centre then contacted the father and his company and organised a day where he could bring in his vehicles and share his knowledge with the children. Permission slips were also placed in the children's lockers for the parents to take home and sign. These permission slips provided parents with information about the event and acted as a means of invitation to invite parents to participate in the experience if they so pleased. Not all permission slips were handed out to the centre. This could be due to parents not seeing it in the children's locker, or simply just misplacing it. To ensure all children received consent to participate in the experience, we printed off spare permission slips that parents could sign at drop-off. Only a handful of parents were able to make it to the experience. This could be a result of a multitude of factors, including lack of awareness, lack of transportation, or lack of time available in their busy work lives. There were, however, many benefits to this soft entry approach, one being I was able to form a transformative relationship with the parents involved. Transformative relationships involve educators reflecting on their interactions with families and repositioning the families as experts so that there is a two-way exchange of knowledge. Through the experience and shared knowledge, the children were able to successfully demonstrate learning within the learning outcomes of the early years framework. They displayed the ability to connect and contribute to their world and have a strong sense of well-being and become confident and involved learners. This approach also allowed the children to interact with the community experiences and feel included with the day-to-day of the adult world. It is important that children are situated within the family and community as central beings, and they are a part of all activities of the community. Involving family and community in intervention and prevention is essential to healthy development. Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory emphasizes this, as his theory views child development as a complex system of relationships affected by multiple levels of the surrounding environment. Majority of the stakeholders involved within my soft entry approach were part of the children's microsystem, which is the first and most influential level of Bronfenbrenner's theory. The relationships and interactions within the microsystem are crucial for fostering and supporting the child's development. If a child has a strong nurturing relationships within their environment, this is said to have a positive effect on the child, whereas distant and unaffectionate relationships may have a harmful impact. Thank you for listening. They're my references.